Circling back on the play with your eye, what would you say to the crowd of people that think a hit like that was intentional and maybe even warrants a suspension?
It wasn't intentional by any means. You just watched the play. It wasn't intentional.
All right, thank you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Caitlin.
An eye poke no foul and star player left in pain. Caitlin Clark's playoff game has raised major concerns about the future of the WNBA. How could this happen, and what needs to change? Let's break down the controversy that's got everyone talking. The latest playoff games are WNBA is up-and-coming stars Caitlin Clark making headlines. For all the wrong reasons described as a sharpshooter, Clark was now the captain of the team, ready for battle. However, the dramatic shift from the outside world only took a couple of seconds. Dijonai Carrington made a defensive move that had Clark seeing stars in his eyes as he suffered a brutal eye poke. At that time Clark fell. He was clearly hurt and pain red. Or saw their team supporters waiting for the referees to blow the whistle, but only stunned. The opponents did not get a foul. In fact, the non-violent symbols of the referees were the main topic of the fans and the specialists' discussions. This was not just a scrape, it could cause a fracture of the legs. In fact, it could cause serious harm. The absence of any foul call left everyone asking the same question. Some of the questions to ask are: is the WNBA doing enough to protect its players to a league that is striving to expand its viewership domain? This means overlooking such situations may become perilous. This wasn't just a call whereby someone tried to get through to the other person but failed in the process. Had it been way one, it would have possibly set a new path of how the WNBA protects its players in the future. This literally is business one-on-one, and when leagues like this are on the verge of stardom with eyes like Clark playing in them, can the WNBA afford to let this slide? It elicited controversy over the safety of WNBA players soon afterwards. Artisans, players and pundits have commented on the physicality of the league for many years, and that recent violence involving Caitlin Clark could be the last straw. We learned about the matter from sports analysts Rachel DeMita, and according to her, the WNBA must start taking action and shield its talent. Others are DeMita, who also came out to speak. Social media, Twitter and Instagram exploded with agitation, and fans called on the league to take action. The main question on everyone's mind was, how could such an incident happen and nothing was done about it? For a player like a Caitlin Clark, who propelled fans to start attending the WNBA games, getting left exposed in such a way means it will affect the business. In fact, one could easily argue that Clark was mostly ineffective because of the IPO poke. He received coordination and decision-making abilities, which are usually sharpened by her, were off, and so was the rest of her group. This particular accident is clear evidence of the fact that injuries have an effect on the game directly. However, it also underlines that those players who make the league popular are vulnerable if the issue of safety is ignored. Court line responsibility, or the absence of the same, was probably among the noticeable discussion points after the incident. What could possibly happen for such a dangerous place to go unchallenged in a high-stake playoff match play? Some people opining on the recent trends are accusing the WNBA of officials that are not well equipped to handle some of the critical moments. This isn't the first time that WNBA officiating has been called into question, but the pot has been painted black now than ever before as more people tune in towards their interest in the WNBA. The league itself is going to want to make sure that its referees are up to par. Some of the recommendations put forward that either uneven sure victor training of the official should be made, or utilizing the review system where an officer on the court less playing experience but has a wider playing experience in related leagues such as the NBA, star whistles that ensure dangerous plays are not done. In conclusion, for the use of a game, refereeing decisions can transform the whole game completely. When people like Caitlin Clark are not shielded, not only is the integrity of the game compromised, but the new fan base might lose interest in the sport. The WNBA owes it to its growing audience base and players to address this phenomenon before it escalates. The WNBA has always laid claim to be a tough and competitive basketball league, but after this incident, a critical question has emerged: is in intensity maintained while preserving a safe level of concrete and metal? While fans enjoy the grit, frantic violent screwing and scoring, critics fear that the league has become too tolerant of rough physicality to the detriment of personal well-being among players. Clark's terrible injury brought home a difficult reality for the league. If they do not ensure the welfare of the player, and especially the talent, the future of the league is in jeopardy. Physicality could create a headline-grabbing spectacle seen in modern competitive athletes, but one wonders what is being achieved if the WNBA is not going to protect its players. Things such as these will persist, and the consequences may be significantly worse down the line. Now the WNBA must decide: shouldn't continue to be all action-packed, which intrigues fans, or shouldn't preserve the players' health. Despite the reduction of physicality, the outcome of this might have an opportunity to change the roots of women's basketball in the future for the years to come. Twitter was ablaze after the eye poke of Caitlin Clark. Fans insist on justice from the WNBA. Yeah, the hashtag #ProtectOurStars was created almost immediately, and thousands of fans took to social media to express their discontent regarding the league's actions. It therefore cannot be a surprise that fans are not only angry but demanding action to an action. The WNBA cannot continue to turn a blind eye to this. Outcry means that people are very passionate about the league going forward. It is not only the case of a specific player, but what kind of signal the WNBA is giving to its viewers for the league to continue to expand and maintain the fans that it has. It needs to also prove that it does care for the well-being of the players, for the fans. The time has come for change. In turn with that wave, it is the WNBA turn to respond. When Caitlin Clark was wiped off from the court during the last tournament play, what happened wasn't merely a missed foul call, it heralds a new era for the WNBA. Will they heed the fans and provide the needed changes in an effort to shield the stars, or they will potentially allow whatever progress they have made to regret? Yes, and that will be a shame on writings to produce catalysts on dividing line. Caitlin Clark's eye-poking circumstance still remains an argument. Writings to produce catalysts on dividing line. The WNBA is to confront an identity crisis. The decisions taken today will impact the future of the leagues and will begin to mold the perception fans have regarding the value systems of the leagues. In as much as player safety is concerned, what do you think? Does the WNBA need to reduce aggressive physicality, or is this kind of play perfectly acceptable? Please tell us in the comment section below, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coverage of the biggest events in sports. Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league. Pretty extraordinary for a rookie. Caitlin Clark, in a shock to me, has proven already to be a once-a-generation passer. I did not see that coming at Iowa, and comparing apples to oranges, what Clark has done is an illegal for mobile. Amorn and Broke remove Cooper. Have you the biggest challenges span the heck of it had like 24 days together. I think that presented of a challenge for our team, especially really young team, and experience himself attain a shrine of by their chemistry and how they work together, as has provided a challenge for us by having, as you watch over the course the first 4 games, like personify Connecticut to this life. Have I can't get home. Like there's been a huge difference in how we play and how to play together and shit with and so I think a lot. Of course there's a lot, but as it is how the main challenge us right now, having to go from game practice games, and that Pakistan's you can't really do much better internet on it. Playing really well. A lot of the ball. She's making sure she's